What up, Jimmy?
Uriah, what's up, brother?
Oh, another day in paradise.
Well, you're on that honeymoon thing going on,
I'm still pretty pumped, to say the least.
Great addition
Yes,
to your life.
For sure. She's amazing. It's been awesome to grow, and we've been talking about just different business ventures and stuff, and obviously both of us, faith is the focus. That's huge, and my girls freaking love her more than they love me, dude.
Well, that's easy.
Oh, God dang. Getting ran over here. Just getting ran over.
Yeah, I always said your daughters are very smart.
Yeah. So how are you? How have you been?
Man, we are in crazy times.
Yeah.
And nothing is settled right now. And the stock market is like Sybil. It has 18 different personalities depending on the day. The rates are also Sybil, up, down, up, down. Sometimes you think they go up and they don't. When you think they go down, they don't. So it's just out. Everything is just out there.
Yeah.
And so everybody's kind of coping with that. Kind of, I saw that new home purchases were down like 4%. And this is probably an older number. But it all goes back to the Strait, right? Because that's what's screwing everything up.
Yeah.
And and then we hear there's problems in Lebanon again. So it was just one of those things. But I mean, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
But good thing is I'm kind of busy.
Yeah.
Which is always a good thing.
Yeah.
And I have this new client, and they are picture perfect clients.
Yeah.
Not that my clients aren't all perfect. But their mindset on buying a home, okay? They make plenty of money. They do very well. But they're going to buy a smaller home because they want to travel. They want to do all this stuff. And I told them, I said, I'm not going to let you because they're afraid they want to be house poor. And I said, don't worry about that. You're not going to. I won't let you.
Yeah.
If you have to go over there and shake both of you, then we're not going to be house poor. But they came back, just like a $300,000 home. Nice home.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking they get it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Big's not always better.
Bro, I don't want to be freaking cleaning a house all day.
No.
Like that's crazy. Or hiring a maid or somebody to clean up after me.
Or you can't afford to do anything.
Yeah. That's crazy talk.
Just look at the walls all the time.
No, I'm good.
I moved into my new place and I still haven't put up a picture yet. So I look at white walls all the time.
Yeah. Don't want to put the holes in the wall.
That's exactly right. So I want to talk to you about a show I saw that I'm watching right now.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Okay. What's it called?
It's called America's Proudest Moments or something like that.
Yeah.
And the first part's about the Revolutionary War and how they, after that and start going west, and they talk about the Civil War, right? And then all the vast migration after the Civil War. So, and a lot of these people that are that are going west are actually, a lot of them are immigrants, right? Because you could go out there and you could just get land, right? They call that homestead. Homestead, thank you.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting thing. The Intercontinental Railroad, right, which connected the East Coast to the West Coast and vice versa. Well, they go through the Sierra Nevada mountains. Have you ever seen those mountains?
Yeah.
So it's not like you take your train tracks over the mountain, right?
Right.
You're digging tunnels.
Yeah.
You're using nitroglycerin to do it, right? To blow it up. They didn't have enough workers. They were so far behind. They didn't have workers. They did not have enough Irish workers. You know what they did? They brought in 15,000 Chinese.
Dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they were the ones that were in the Sierra Nevada mountains. They lost 10% of them due to explosions, tunnel accidents.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring this up is because the narrative about immigrants right now they're murderers, they're rapists, and they sell drugs. If you took the American immigrant out of this country, you know what it would be? We'd still be in 13 states, right?
Yeah.
And then it was just so weird to see what the immigrants struggled with. So now you go into after the railroad, right? And you got more immigrants coming from all over Europe.
Right.
A lot of Slavs,
Right.
right? There were like 5 staying in one room. There was like starvation. There was no sewage system. They would actually just go to the bathroom outside in the streets. You know how freaking deadly that is? And they lived through this. And a lot of them had jobs, but you know what? There was no minimum pay. They worked them as long as they wanted to. And these people lived through this for the American dream. And a lot of them still do today. They take all those hard jobs that we don't want and they work them, you know? And I really did, because they talk about Teddy Roosevelt. And I really didn't know much about Teddy Roosevelt, right? Because even though he's at the, what do you call it? The Four Faces.
Oh yeah, the what is it? Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore, thank
Mount
you.
Rushmore.
Yeah, and I like history, right? But anyway, but you know why he's on Mount Rushmore?
Why is that?
Because one, he started the federal state parks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know why he started the federal state parks? Because some company wanted to go to Arizona and start mining the Grand Canyon. And he said, hell no, that is spectacular. So I think he did 7 national parks. But what he did was he set a precedence that we're going to protect the beauty of this. So let's go back to Little Bighorn. I know I'm jumping around, sorry, but my thoughts going crazy. So, you know, we had a treaty with the Indians, right?
Yeah.
And the treaty was the mountains there. I forgot which ones they were. Anyway, they were sacred land to the Indians.
Yeah.
Until a white guy found gold. And then
they opened it up. Made it mining season.
And they are still proposing to give like the Indians $4 million. And they're going no. Because it's not about money. It's about our sacred land. And so I'm looking at all this going, my God, this is so cool, you know? And then, so Teddy Roosevelt, he actually started a lot of programs for the immigrants that were starving and didn't have good living conditions, because he was known as the people's president. Because that turn of the century, 1900s, there was big changes going on.
Yeah.
Companies were big, and they had no rules.
Right. They could do whatever they wanted.
Could do whatever. So he comes in, he goes, hell no. Just like with the national parks. And the reason I bring this up is because we have, since the Pilgrims got here, right? So, want to hear a story about the Pilgrims?
Yeah, let's hear.
You know, the Pilgrims and the Indians were friends for 30 years before all the bloodshed started. In fact, the Indians taught the Pilgrims how to raise corn, which saved their life. Okay, so, yeah, those bad Indians, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at all this, and people look at this little chunk of history right here, right? Today's greatest, they don't go back and look at our entire history because our entire history, each step that we take has influenced this. And I talk about Iran, but if you look at Iran, when they decided to basically take their oil, right, and sell it themselves because the British were in there, that's when the British and the Americans had a fit, got rid of the leader who was going to nationalize oil. Then they backed the Shah of Iran, and Iran, Shah of Iran just totally brutalated his people, and then we bring him back to the States. So if you want to look at history, if you want to know what's going on, you don't look in the last 30-second spot from Trump saying, we're going to blow you away. You have to go back to the very beginning where all this started.
Yeah.
And I think we have done, and all countries have, except for probably Germany with Holocaust, because they are upfront about it.
Mm-hmm.
They teach it in their
Yeah, yeah,
schools,
yeah, yeah.
But we tend to whitewash stuff.
Yeah. It's like a highlight reel. I think about social
Only
media,
positive,
right?
right?
Social media, like
Yeah.
it's only the good clips, right? We
Or
do it.
there's a
We do.
couple of negative ones though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you see the pictures of the slaves picking
Right.
cotton, right?
Yeah.
But did you know that the slaves brought $3.6 billion to the economy?
Yeah.
Because the
Making it work.
the the landowners didn't have to pay them,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't feed them worth of crap. They didn't give them decent living conditions,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because all the South had was cotton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just look at this stuff, and then they say, "Well, why are this one African American woman I saw on Facebook? She killed me." She goes, "You want to know why we're angry?" And then she just start listing. And
Yeah.
I said, "Damn straight,
Yeah.
we get it."
Well, and that's the thing is like, context, right? Like that's a huge one. Like I think about scripture, right?
Right.
Like you can take any verse and make it a doctrine. You can take any verse and hang anybody and make it twist it, make it say whatever you want it to say.
And they do that.
Yeah, they do. And so it's the same thing with history,
Right.
right? Like it's I can take this one moment in time and just like make cover and blanket. This
Yes.
is how it is.
Right.
Right? And it's like, no, if you go back and actually look at the mile markers of history and like see it all and then understand it, yeah, you will know why we're doing what we're doing right now.
Right. Whether it's right or
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing too is that with all this shit talking, excuse my French, by the current administration about how bad the immigrants are,
Mm-hmm.
we owe them so much,
Mm-hmm.
because even if they come over right now, they're still suffering,
Right.
because they can't get anything. So why not just say, here's the problem,
Mm-hmm.
right? We want to expel people that have a criminal record.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody would agree with that.
Yeah.
But I also saw another show. I think it's called Undocumented on Netflix. Follow 4 families, and they're all undocumented. Some have been here for 17 years.
Crazy.
They have business, but the business is tied into a U.S. citizen.
Right.
But what I'm saying, though, is that at any point in time, they've been here for 20 years, be nothing but productive Americans,
Mm-hmm.
and they could be taken
Yeah.
at any moment,
Right.
which is crap.
Right.
It's-
And you think about Americans, right? We go all over the world and partner with people in those countries to
Yes.
create businesses in those countries.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we want something.
Right. Yeah, it's flipped here. It's like, dude, you remember that song way back in the day, right? This land is your land.
Yeah.
This land is my land.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm about to get shot down bringing this up from the archives, but that song is about, hey, welcome.
Yes.
This land is your land. It's my land. Let's work together. Let's do this.
Let's go back to the scripture thing.
Yeah.
Because you know it better than I do. I can barely remember the 10 Commandments.
You're kidding.
But doesn't Jesus talk about that if a foreigner comes into your house, you feed them
Take care of them.
and you take care of them,
Take care of them.
right?
Yeah.
And I just think that we're so divided anyway. What would you think if Putin came in and kidnapped what's his name? Oh God, what's his name? Trump.
Oh.
Kidnapped him and took over the oil in the United States.
Yeah.
We'd be in an uproar, right?
Yeah.
But it's okay to do it to Venezuela
Yeah.
because he's a socialist.
Right.
And a lot of people don't even know the difference between socialist and communism. We're not going to go into that.
Well, I think the epitome of it all is greed. Like that is it, right? Like that is why all all under the name of protection,
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's really greed.
Yep.
It's, no, I'm going to protect this and keep this to myself, and I don't want to give it to, anybody else, and we don't want anybody coming in because then they're going to take part of our resource and part of our money and yada, 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 right? Like, I have been fortunate enough to do some serious hard labor. And when I say hard labor, I'm talking about like hammer and chisel.
Right.
And cutting it, built swimming pools with a buddy of mine. And a lot of our crews were not from America.
No.
And they would run circles around me.
Right.
They would like do so much more work. Like we'd be cutting rock and they'd go through a pallet and I'm on like rock 6 or 7, like, and I'm over here like jacking my fingers up and they're like pop, 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 done, And then we'd take that flagstone and we'd go lay it. Right. And they were just on it, bro. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no flipping way that a lot of Americans would be able to do the work.
No.
Now there's a couple, right? I'll give some the benefit, right? Like some of them can work hard. I was not one of those people. I was not, Jimmy. I was a little slow. Imagine Uriah slow. Yeah, I was a little slow, and so like all that to say, like some of the greatness that we experience today in America was built by immigrants.
They had like 3 things that in New York City that they built, that immigrants did that are still standing today. The majority were immigrants, right?
Yeah.
But you can take that across the entire United States.
Yeah.
Right.
Any sector of business, anything really.
You know what? There's got to be a way that if they've been in this country 5 years, no criminal history, they got a job, they're settled.
Right.
You fast pace them to citizenship.
Right.
It shouldn't take years to do it.
Right.
Right. If we want to put money in all these other places, why don't we put it to the people?
It's control, Jimmy.
It is.
Why does it take so long to file our taxes and get our returns?
Because, they're kind of.
But I can direct deposit things right now and get people paid immediately.
Well, I think what it is too, like I think we talked about this last time, that they said the war is going to cost like, I don't know how many millions, billions of dollars with Iran, right? Mm-hmm. And Trump's solution was, well, we'll just have to cut Social Security and Medicare.
Right.
Just think about that for a minute.
And that got shot down, but
just the fact that you say it
right
on TV,
you're
basically saying, American citizens, I don't give a shit about you, especially the elderly. I don't give a shit because I need money to blow up these guys because they're the bad guys.
Or they have something that I want.
Right. Exactly.
What? Sorry, don't come after me.
Oh, they're gonna come after me with both barrels, and I don't care.
But I'm saying like there is a way to do that. Other countries have ways to do that.
Right.
They do that. Like you've been established. Okay, well let's get you citizenship quicker. People get married all the time. Yeah. They get married in automatic citizenship. Right. It's like boom. Okay, well, why can't we do that with other sectors? Why is it only marriage? Why? But nobody's asking these questions, and when you ask the questions, what happens?
Well, it's like far right and far left, right? They're going to read. They're going to read what supports them.
Yeah,
and they're afraid to step outside the box, read anything freaking different.
Yeah, their agenda.
That's why Fox News is so good. Yeah, because they have these people just like. What word am I looking for? See, when I kind of get excited, I forget my words. Like hypnotized.
Yeah.
With this, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about how many senators, sons,
I think it's all media, bro.
Yeah.
Like all media. And I mean, step outside of news, right? Let's talk about social media for a second. This is what I do, right? Yep. The top content creators, it's the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
We post the same stuff over and over and over again. It gets nothing.
Right.
Dead in the water.
I guess we're doing the wrong thing.
No, we're not. We're not. But I'm just saying, like, there is a rhyme and a reason why they have an agenda and they do the same stuff over and over
Right.
again. Because it takes 14 times just for us to understand. So if they want to
This ought to be
mind wash people?
yeah.
Oh, there it is. Mind wash. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they want to mind wash people, all they're going to do is just continue the same drum. Beat the same drum.
And they do.
Over and over again. And so what happens with that is then you become completely oblivious to what's actually happening
Right.
in society.
Because you're so focused on what they said.
One thing,
Yeah.
two things, three things, maybe.
Look at the immigrant situation.
Yeah.
That started out. Remember the Haitians eating the dogs and cats?
Mm-hmm.
And was it Ohio, I think? Never happened.
Mm.
Oh, they're all rapists and drug dealers, and oh, they're all MS-13 and all. And no,
Again, context, right?
Right.
Like get if
Fear.
you're gonna report the full thing.
right. But
Don't-
no. If you don't, if you do that,
Mhm.
then you're not going to have the same message.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
Could you imagine if there was an actual newscast, and there's none out there, national newscast that took a story and did not twist it, did not do anything, just like, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like here's the situation we're in right now.
I mean, that's what we're doing here and now is talking about realness, right? Like that's what it's gonna take to change any society.
Right.
Is to be raw and real, be vulnerable, own up to your bull crap,
Yep.
right? I mean, you look at the nations that have done this, Germany,
Yep.
right? You look at, some of the other places that have done this and they're doing well.
Right.
It's positive, like, because they were raw and real with it and they're like, look, we messed up.
They tried to hide it, but you can't hide crap like it. Always comes out later on.
Scripture. It's scripture.
Yeah.
It straight up says it. It says everything in the dark will eventually come to the light.
Yep. And that's our everyday lives.
Everyday lives. So on a wider scale with the
Right.
world and governments and all this stuff, like, you better freaking believe eventually. Like, why do you think all these, files are coming up again? It's resurfacing. It's because it always comes back to the light.
Evil always comes back.
Always.
I was so blessed that I was raised up the way I was raised up, being a coach's son, and because we had all races there, And so as a kid, you really don't learn unless it's in the household teaches you not to like this type of race. But if you just put kids together, 5, 6, what are they going to do?
Kids are gonna play.
They're going to play.
Yeah,
right?
and they're not gonna be judgmental. They're not gonna have
No.
a bias. They're gonna.
And they will ask questions like, "Why is your hair curly?"
Yeah,
Or "Why are you so tall?"
yeah,
Not like, "Why are you Mexican?"
yeah.
None
Yeah.
of that stuff.
Right. And when they do ask about skin color or something, it's like pure innocence.
It is.
Like-
It's an inquiry
Right.
of what they're actually thinking.
Right.
There's no judgment behind it.
Right. But that's the thing in society now. We all have judgments,
Right.
Default
Before we even ask
judgments.
Exactly.
and it's like, how do you get past that? How do you rewire that? And cold plunge. There's all sorts of things that you can do, but the thing is you have to want to do it. You have
Right.
to want to change.
But
And
you know what? Also, part of that too is your social group.
who you surround yourself with.
Right. If you're gonna hang out with the KKK,
What are you gonna believe?
those thoughts are gonna be
Mm-hmm.
there. You're not gonna go and give a true handshake to an African American or a Mexican. You're
Right.
not gonna do that.
Right.
Or even a Jewish person. You're not gonna
Right.
do that.
The lens you view things through.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think all this crap has been building up for so long because we have to find fault with somebody else besides us.
Right.
Right? We don't do that. Well, we do a little wrong. But look what they've done.
Mm-mm.
And the crazy thing is there's people that are complaining about the immigrants
Mm-hmm.
is that they should have lived in the 1900s.
Mm-hmm. It was way worse.
Yeah.
Way worse.
Because, we all are immigrants. The Pilgrims were immigrants.
I'm Native American. I will just say that now.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm really.
I got a story for you.
Okay.
So I was in the first grade.
Uh-huh.
And the teachers were having a discussion. And my mom gets a phone call from the teacher. And she goes, Mrs. Oliver, I think you need to talk to Jimmy. She goes, why? She goes, well, I asked the class today who had Native American in him, and he raised his hand. And she goes, Jimmy, what type are you?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm Yaqui. Because the Yaqui are in the northern western part of Mexico, and they go into Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom goes, oh, I know where that came from. So she goes, I'll take care of it. She calls my grandfather. Dad, you know what Jimmy said today in school? He goes, what? That he's part Yaqui. And my grandfather started cracking up because he told me, he goes, you're Yaqui.
Yeah.
And I was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
You're Yaqui. And my mom was so pissed.
Yeah.
So to this day, I'm thinking, because we do have some indigenous blood in us.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we really are part Yaqui. But nobody wants to admit
probably
it.
Are. Yeah. I'm Kitikatich. So it's Wichita Indian.
Oh, cool.
Wichita and affiliated tribes. So I'm an 8, right? Like I don't have a ton of blood in me.
Yeah,
but,
you still have some in you.
But I just burn once and then I tan. That's what I got going for me. Burn once.
I burn once, I'm burnt. No, but I think this country needs to put all the shit down, right? And stop blaming the country's problem on a set of people, because it's not a set of people.
But Jimmy, come on, okay? I'm gonna play with this a little bit. So, who in the freaking world will put down all their preconceived ideas about those around them and look in the mirror? Why would they ever do that?
Because they're afraid to look in the mirror.
Exactly.
But if you want to have a nation that accepts all, I'm not talking about 100%.
Right.
We can't even get 100% people to vote.
No. There's no unanimous anymore.
No. But if we can get the majority of these people putting everything down, right? Because my dad asked me one time, he goes, why do you think there's rioting? Like there was in like after George Floyd and all that. I said, Dad, because people have had enough. He goes, what do you mean? I said, you know that if you looked at all the police stats, the wait time it takes for them to get into these areas, and they'll make a lot of excuses why. Sorry, police. I know I'm generalizing, but and there is a higher, because of the gangs and stuff. Yeah, I can understand where there's a little higher danger there, but it's the fact that they have been facing this all their lives, right?
Yeah.
They've been at the bottom of the economic base, and they get tired of being treated differently and having issues happen. So I know I'm going to get blown up on this. But I think if we don't take a step back and put ourselves in those shoes, and we'll never be able to understand it completely because we haven't done it. But just to be there and say, okay, here's some facts, here are some numbers. Let's read them. Let's don't. Because I think a lot of people, they think, oh, you're going at me. No, I'm not going at you. All I'm saying is, okay, maybe I'm going at you.
Yeah.
But all I'm asking you to do is open your mind.
Right. Well, and I think one step further is worldview. Bro, the second I left the United States, I became the minority.
Right.
When I was a missionary overseas, I was the minority. I'm going into a land that I know barely anything about. Languages being spoken around me, I have no idea what they're saying, right? Like, you actually go out and travel and you look at these third world countries and you actually put your hands to the soil there and like stuff like that, you get changed.
Yeah.
Your entire perception of life is changed Because here, even when we have it bad, we have it so good.
Right.
Like, and I had to deal with this. It was a wrestle that I had in my brain because, somebody told me, you're privileged. And I was at a time in my life where I was grinding.
Right.
It was hard. And they told me that. And I was like, let's go outside real quick. I'm going to show you how privileged I am. Like I was pissed.
Right.
I was upset. That offended me. Right? And then I started thinking about it. And it like lived in my head rent free for a while. And I'm like, you know what? That's actually true.
Right.
Like some of these people live off rice and beans.
Yes.
Some people do not even know what a steak is until they hit a certain age. Right? Like there is so much, even here in America, right?
Right.
That people don't realize and we take for granted all the time. And that word privilege will offend folks.
Well, you know what? We have white privilege in the United States.
White privilege, all sorts of privilege.
So people look at that and say, "Oh, I don't have white privilege."
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you been pulled over by a cop
Mm-hmm.
just because of your color of your skin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and my sister taught me that, and she did this. I had the same reaction you did when she goes, Jimmy, you have white privilege. I have white privilege, but I'm a female. But you have more white privilege because you're male. And I was like, hell no.
Yeah.
Shit, I work hard. I've earned what I had. And she goes, no. It's the little things you don't see that don't happen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we do have to be careful in this because I think there is equality. Like we should also like balance it out in the sense of there is equality for folks too.
Right.
They just have to seek it out. And that's, I think the other thing is like you can lean too far into this privilege talk to where it's like, oh, well, but the other side wants it served up to them on a silver platter.
And that's not true either.
And that's not real.
No,
that's not real. And it doesn't matter.
They just want a fair shot.
Right. And I think everybody deserves
right.
That, period.
But see, here's the thing too, is you look at, and we'll just talk schools.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
We'll talk where my nephews went to school in Ahwatukee. They call it white Ahwatukee because it was. But then you go into downtown Phoenix at some of these other elementaries, and there's nothing there. Books are, and they say, well, the parents don't care. Parents care. Parents care. But you know what I had, luckily I had when I was growing up, is it was my parents' expectation for me to go to college, right? Because my dad went and my mom went. What if you've ever had a parent that's been to college? How can you put that expectation on
Which is starting to become normal.
Right.
To have parents that didn't go to college.
Right.
And so let's dig in, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's see what this is about. So I am completely against college.
See, what I'm against. No, I'm not. What I'm against, though, I go to the high school level.
Yeah.
What I'm against is that a lot of cuts to the schools have been on service-related skills, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's coming back.
Yeah.
But we're so short-handed right now.
Yeah.
Why does it cost $76,000 for a degree? That's ridiculous. And why,
that's cheap.
And why do you have to repeat high school? I mean, your first year of college, like you were in high school, right? If you have all those classes, it should take you 2 years to learn your craft and get the hell out.
Again, greed.
Yes.
Like, that's what it is. And so, like, for me, entrepreneur, right? You're talking to an entrepreneur here. Of course, I'm going to be against college, right? Like, I can go out, create a business,
right,
and make more than that in my first year.
But you're an entrepreneur. A lot of people aren't.
A lot of people aren't, right?
Like nurses, for instance.
However, if there's a field of study that you want to get into, there's apprenticeships, there's programs out there that you can start training under.
Right.
That you don't even necessarily, like the college degree. I'm going to be interested to see how that plays a fact in our history moving forward, because I think that it's going to take a back seat.
Well, I think what we ran into, since we have ignored the trades for the last 20, 30 years, it's caught up to us.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't have enough people to build houses.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Plumbers
right.
are always looking for somebody.
Yeah.
So are electricians.
Yeah.
When my kids went to high school, I'm not going to mention where, they never talked about the trades. They brought in all the colleges, but no trade schools.
Right.
Right? Because these were where doctors and lawyers and all those other people lived, you know? But you know what's going to happen is that the tradespeople are going to make more money.
They already are.
Yeah.
They already flipping are. Electrician can get $300,000 a year. Right now. Like, and it's going to be more than that with all this freaking farming and AI and, you know, all this stuff, Bitcoin and all of this. Like, somebody has to build those things.
That's right.
To be able to hold that energy, to be able to supply it properly so things aren't blowing up. You know, like, this is a major shift.
It is.
Not a just a little bit, like, we're going to tiptoe in. No, this is like, I just threw you into the deep end. Everything's going to shift this direction. Everybody knows it already. It's shifting that direction. But who's going to actually, like, help build the grid?
Right.
Electric vehicles 2030? Really? Really? Because not right now, the way I see it.
And they call them unskilled labor. There's no such thing as an unskilled laborer.
Bro.
I don't care if you're cracking rocks. It takes, like you said, with the flagstone.
Right.
It takes a skill.
Yeah, you got to know.
Right.
You got to know how, just right angle, and, you know, how many times does it take to break a rock? You know, like, these are things, repetition is the father of learning.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're learning.
Right. And, you know, I got a couple college degrees. And, but want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
So my great uncle was an engineer during the Pacific War. You know, smart guy. I mean, he jumped on like Mountain Bellstock and all those, you know, and he's just a smart man, great man.
Right.
So my mom says, you need to become an engineer.
Right.
I was like, fuck, I'm going to become an engineer. I don't want to sit behind a desk all day. Well, you know, that's where the money is. And back then, the 80s, right?
Right.
So I went and I did engineering for a year.
Yeah.
I got put on double secret probation. My grades were so bad.
Boom.
Like a 0.9 or something like that. But you know what that is that if you don't do what you love,
you're not going to be in it.
Those are your results.
Yeah, you're not going to be in it. Too many people are going after the money.
Right.
Right? The money changes. It flows.
Well, look
everywhere.
Look, who do we want now? We want skilled labor.
Right.
To build stuff.
Right.
That's where the money's going.
But then there's pride. Then there's like, oh, well, I can't do that kind of work.
Exactly.
Back to privilege.
Yep.
Oh, well, my family would laugh at me if I did that kind of stuff.
But if you threw in your tax return and it was $100,000 gross income, what do you think they would say?
Yeah. How are they going to say anything?
Now they're proud.
That's the thing. Is like I feel like if you do what you love and you're successful with it, who can tell you anything? I mean, dude, look at this. All this stuff. Nobody would have thought like this would be a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody thought, and like even when I first started, people were like, I don't know, Uriah, are you sure you're gonna make it? You know, I get people tell me all the time, like, how you doing? Like, are you doing all right? And it's like, bro, I'm doing all right. Yeah. Like I'm eating steak, you know? Yeah. So it's like, it's like crazy to think that you can actually go after what you want to do and be successful. And all those people that were betting against you just lost all their money.
Right.
And it's kind of a fun feeling, obviously, right?
We'll look at Microsoft, right? They dropped out of college to chase a dream.
Apple
the same way, right?
Garage,
Yes.
Facebook, what?
All these guys chased a dream.
And so that to the point of the college degree, I think it's gonna change, man.
What I think what's going to happen is I think we're going to see more technical schools start getting built up. I think people go to college, and that's fine because, you got to go to college to become a nurse, a doctor, a lawyer, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's fine, because maybe that's their dream.
Right.
But you can't ignore the other side of it.
Right.
Because that's why we're in trouble right now.
Yeah.
Because we ignored that side.
Right.
Blue collar, as they call them, right?
Yeah. I'm right here, Jimmy. I'm right here, okay? No. All right. Pivot a little bit. Back to a little bit of what's going on in the world. If the Maine does close again, what's going to happen with mortgage?
Well, I saw a thing last night, and they heard that because, the U.S. Navy fired on an Iranian ship yesterday, right? And that's when the strait was closed. And I heard that the stock market was already feeling it before it even opened today. And nothing has changed from what I've said before with this podcast. So more than likely, the stock market's going to go down, the rate's going to go up because the 10-year bond is going to go up.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to get money.
Yeah.
And this is the scary thing, though, is going into on Tuesday, because we're doing this on a Monday, to see if all these ceasefires hold up. And I don't know if they are. But I also don't know if Trump is really going to gamble and start shooting more missiles.
Yeah.
He's backed off that ultimatum a couple of times. But from what I've read, there are, on both sides, there are things that are non-negotiable. So we're not going to have, unless somebody majorly gives up.
Yeah. Somebody's going to have to cave.
Right.
Somebody's going to have to give, period. And so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But, yeah, I know, and it affects way more than mortgage.
Right. I mean,
back to the food conversation, back to, everything.
Well, did you hear that some airlines are, like Spirit, is almost going to shut down because of the jet fuel prices?
Well, because you can't be budget friendly anymore.
No.
You actually have to charge people now.
Right.
Because you've got to pay for the fuel to get in the plane.
The cheap fare airlines are in really trouble right now.
Yeah.
But, they're all in trouble.
Everybody.
So, if they get in trouble again, right? The airlines get in trouble again.
Yeah.
Get ready for Uncle Sam to bring out the checkbook.
If I'm you guys, I would go get a nice vehicle that can travel really good distances for really cheap. I'm just saying.
Like a EV, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, we don't know where mortgage rates are going.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go up.
Yeah.
And I think they'll probably go up a little bit higher than they were, maybe over 6.5, if the ceasefire breaks down.
Yeah.
Because everything's sitting in there. I mean, everything is oil.
Right.
There's other things in there that are sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
Products.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but this is what I tell the clients. Yeah, we're in trouble right now. Rates are a little bit higher. We can do 3 things. Just sit on the sidelines for a while, move forward with the current rates, or buy down the rate. Because after your 6th payment, then we can refi. Right?
Yeah.
And people are going, well, I don't know if I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll just sit. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if they don't come down for another year
Right.
or hardly any movement, and you find a house that you really like
Yeah.
and can afford,
Right.
do you go ahead and pull the trigger?
Mm-hmm.
And you know me, I'm pretty conservative with my clients and the house and their payments and stuff. I will do whatever they tell me to,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also like uh, uh,
This is gonna put.
siren in the air.
Yeah. This is gonna put you in a position.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And maybe, and people don't want to hear this, but maybe this is the new normal.
What? Be careful.
I know. But see, it's all because of those crack
Mm-hmm.
rates back during COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because I hear a lot of people say, and we also say, okay, if you want to do something to your house, instead of refine your 3% loan, how about a HELOC?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the
Home equity
numbers.
line of credit.
Let's look at
Get
the
cash in
numbers
your hand and build wealth.
and see how we can run it two ways. Your current payment plus your HELOC payment
Mm-hmm.
for your total mortgage payment,
Yeah.
or we refinance everything.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are saying, God, Jimmy, I've been paying on this for 15 years. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to start over.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll look at other options.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I don't care what question they have,
Mm-hmm.
what scenario they have, just throw it at me.
Problem solving. One on
Right?
one.
Yeah.
Like.
And let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
And maybe we do have to sit down for a while.
Yeah.
Or maybe you do need more for a down payment.
So who is buying right now?
I think we're seeing who's buying is incomes are not as tight.
Yeah.
Budgets that are not as tight.
Have a little money.
Yeah. That they can absorb
A little equity.
From 6 to 6.5,
Yeah.
right? To where the rates were before all this happened. But people look at a 6.5% rate and they just freak. Because
History lesson.
yeah. My parents, when they bought their house back in the 60s, was a 15%.
Yeah.
Now, the house was much cheaper.
And they were going like this, right?
Yeah. They were going, yes. But on the economic side of things have increased so much cost-wise, but incomes have not.
Right.
And that creates a big problem.
Yeah.
So if you have a 5% increase in home prices
Mm-hmm.
and only a 2% increase in your income,
Yeah.
you're down 3%.
Yeah. Which, I mean, what do they call that? Inflation?
Yeah. I just think, man, I sometimes people just need to put the dream away of this house that
Mm-hmm.
they're dreaming of, because it may not be reachable at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe a smaller home is reachable,
Yeah.
where you build equity and it's a payment you can
Yeah.
afford. And then 4 or 5 years later, as your incomes improve, you have 5 years of equity in this house, then you move up to a bigger house.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I think the American way is I want to start here.
You mean the instant?
Yeah, gratification.
Come on, microwave society.
But it's all about building,
Yeah. You got to start.
So I talked to my buddy that I race bikes with in Mexico State. And we were talking about stuff, and I said, man, after what happened to me, bro, I had to start over,
Mm-hmm.
He goes, Jimmy, I started over 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
I said, really? And he listed them.
Mm-hmm.
I said, dude, I never knew that. He goes, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm. Bro, how many times in the time that we've been working together, how many times have you seen me reinvent my strategy?
Right.
Every time it's different.
Yeah.
Like you have to pivot with what's been thrown at you.
Exactly.
And here's the hope, Jimmy. You'll get through it.
Yes.
Like we freak out when it initially happens. And we're like, nothing's ever going to be the same. We start making these extreme comments, right?
Right.
Like, I'm never going to be, I'm not, And it's like, to your point of putting away the dream for a minute, it's amazing what we can accomplish as human beings when we focus and just get to work
Exactly.
and make some things happen. Like it'll like change everything.
Exactly. And it's so when that happened to me, I was just on the floor in a baby position, just like so upset, right? Because I thought I was done. And now I'm thinking, okay, as long as I keep my house, I'll be fine. I had to sell my house. And you see yourself,
Stair stepping down.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
And it's really hard sometimes to keep that positive attitude because all you're seeing is the negative, right? You got debt, right? You sold your house, you had to sell another car, you had to do all this stuff just to get your head above water. And then rates. You know,
Yeah.
but I think what's so important is you have to have a circle around you that says, you know what? Jimmy, do you live in a nice place? Do you rent a nice place? Yeah, I do. Do you have a car? Yeah, I do. Do you have a little money in the bank? Well, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
You're good. You're better than most.
Yeah. Well, that and then also like just redefining success.
Oh, dude.
Like this whole keeping up with the Joneses bullcrap. Like that thing has been rooted in society for how long?
Since the 80s.
It's still alive and well today.
Yeah.
I think the majority of the mental health was thanks to freaking Disney, bro. Like I'm just being honest. Like some of the movies that I was at a buddy's house. We were having dinner last night, and the kids were watching Mulan.
Oh.
You remember Mulan?
Yeah.
And we were just listening to some of the language that was being spoken. Dude, shame culture is huge in that movie.
Yeah.
Like huge in this whole idea of like, you know, she steps in for her father and goes to war.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I can do it." You know? Dude, you look at the feminist movement lately? Sorry. You look at the feminist movement lately, the people that started that movement are coming back and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. We didn't mean for it to go this far."
Right. And you know what though? We talked about this before. And maybe we haven't. I was watching another show. I just watch documentaries. I'm boring. But it used to be that if you worked on the GM or Ford or Chrysler auto line in the 60s and 70s, you could afford to buy a home, to buy at least one car. And a lot of times the wife did not have to work. So there's no child care, right? You got the kids. So they go back like, now it's 20, so like 50 years later, right? People on the auto line are barely making money, right? Some have second jobs. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
Cost, income, right?
Yeah.
They never keep up.
Right.
And when you're rich, you don't give a shit.
Right. It's all control, Jimmy.
You
It's
don't,
all
you
control.
don't care what the peons doing that are even working for you.
Can't get there, can't catch up. And it's all control. It's all like, well, we got to keep them working.
Right.
We got to keep them going.
I'm trying to think. We had another historical incident in this country when the wealth gap was so large. Now I'm pissed because I can't remember what it is. And what they're saying is we're getting to that point again.
Oh yeah, bro.
You know?
Like, you mean history repeats itself?
I've heard.
You mean we can just go back and like look at history and know what's coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, I mean, things line up. So, but see, people want to think it's exactly the same. It's not.
No.
There's different factors there.
Yeah.
So I worked for this company before I did the mortgage business, and we were privately owned. You know what's cool about being privately owned? Is if we want to spend $5 million on a computer system, we don't give a shit what the New York Stock Exchange thought, right? Because they would have thrown down our price, right? And when a company is chasing a stock price, they're going to make decisions to get that stock price, right? Maybe they don't do that $5 million computer thing, right? Maybe they cut back on healthcare a little bit.
A little restriction action.
Yeah. And see, when and it's not like the average person owns a lot of stocks in this country. And I think that's something that drives me crazy too, is the fact that why are CEOs making as much as they make? And then when they fail, they get a golden parachute. Why wouldn't it be if you fail, you owe us that $50 million, right? Because if you're a common worker and you don't do it right, they're just going to fire you. You don't get a parachute.
That's right. Well, but Jimmy, come on, like finding another CEO that we can control and manipulate. That's tricky, Jeez.
You know what? We're going to be called communists and socialists and everything today.
Oh my gosh!
But it's not that. It's not that. I believe you get paid for what you're worth, right? CEOs that make a lot of good money, they've been successful in other
areas,
positions, right? Yeah. And sometimes they do fail, like the guy that was at Chipotle, I think. He came from a whole different line, and the restaurant line's a whole different thing. And he struggled for a little bit at first.
You're telling me.
But he still had the bones of a good CEO. But I just think, like, if I'm a stockbroker, if I'm a stockholder, that little guy that may own like 10 shares, and I see we're hiring the CEO for millions of dollars, and the people underneath him are making millions of dollars, and he fails, right? Stock price goes down. You screwed me, right? Because my little one vote's not going to count. I just think we need to have some common sense about this stuff.
Yeah,
and.
Little refresh, little reboot.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that looks
I like that.
Real crispy over there.
That does.
Yeah, Jimmy.
You don't have my ugly mug in there.
Hey, get out of here. Get out of here with that. No, it's been good, dude. We covered a lot of ground, and and if people want to reach out to you,
yeah, please do. If I'm looking at the wrong camera, sorry. Call me at 719-437-5151 and let me know how I can help you. If you want to leave a comment, please do, because we like reading the comments, good or bad. Everybody has their own opinion. But again, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
It's good. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thanks, brother. Take care.